Hello. What is your favorite scary movie?
You know not when the sky is falling. You know not when you feel tough or written too late. Cryptic stories only told unending. Teaching what we shouldn't know.
Surprise!
Hello, everyone. What's going on, everybody? Well, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode 9 of Horror Hounds. And here we are. It's the big one now. We're talking about Scream 7. Oh boy, we got a lot to talk about with this one. So prepare yourself for possibly some rants, but we'll see what we got tonight. So we got my co-host, Mike. What's going on, brother?
Hello. Yeah, it's just the same old, man. I'm exhausted, but we're here.
But we also got a couple of special guests tonight. First timers, of course, on the show, but never first timers to the channel. We got my boy Zach Milne in the building. What's going on, man?
Going on? Thanks for having me, man. Happy to be an honorary horror hound for the night.
Let's go, man. And also returning from the weapons watch along, it's my buddy Jeff. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, how's it going, Luke? Thanks for the invite. I dig watching these horror hounds. Now I get to be one for the night, and
Oh yeah.
I might be here to try to sway some opinions on this film tonight. So,
All right. But before we get into it, we got somebody in the chat. We got Nikki in here. What is going on? Thank you so much for being here. It says good evening, everyone. Not caught up with the last couple of movies, but I'm here for the spoilers. This is going to be very spoiler filled. So, and we also got Dave, aka Collector Movie Man. What's going on, man?
hey, Dave.
Thank you so much for being here. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about our thoughts on a recent trailer for Scary Movie 6, which apparently people have been talking about more than Scream 7 itself, and for good reason. So, but anyways, we're going to go around the table. So, Mike, I know we talked about it last night on Movie Fanatics, but fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
It's worth talking about. So what did you think, man?
I loved it. I am a huge fan of the first scary movie, at least. I'm not huge on 2 and 3, and those are the only other 2 I've seen, which knowing how the rest of them go, I'm kind of glad I'm sticking there. But I thought the trailer looked hilarious, honestly. I love the little sight gags that we were just like pointing them out before the stream last night. It was just like, oh yeah, that's this movie. It was fun. And yeah, a lot of good gags just from the trailer alone. I was bummed though because my theater never played it when I saw Scream. So
yeah, mine didn't either.
Yeah,
but
for whatever reason, the only trailer they played was for Passenger, which doesn't look horrible, but it's no scary movie. So
I think that trailer hasn't even dropped online for some reason. Even though they played it in front of a bunch of movies, they never even dropped it online yet.
Really?
No, yeah, they're just keeping it to the theater.
Yeah, because I've told a few people you should go look up Passenger and at least like I want somebody to talk to about it, and it's people that haven't seen Scream 7. So.
My ticket should have come with a warning: bring extra underwear. that trailer got me. That was the scariest part of the movie. Not to give my way too early, but
yeah, I didn't get that trailer. I think the time I got that trailer was in front of Primate, which I'm not complaining, but I wish I'd just gotten better trailers in front of Scream 7. In all honesty, including Scary Movie 6, but
right.
It is what it is. So, Zach, what did you think?
I'm not 100% won over yet. I thought it was okay, honestly. But I haven't seen the Scary Movie franchise. My brother started showing me the first one the other day. I watched about halfway through it. It had some good bits and some gags that had me chuckling. But the trailer itself, I thought it had its moments. I thought the Sinners gag was great. I thought that was fun.
Yes.
The beginning one with on the subway with all of the various horror icons that was, of course, parodying Scream 6. The ending joke of the they them was fine. The Republican joke was fine. It was, I don't know. There wasn't anything in it that necessarily blew me away. I have to watch this. This looks like the funniest movie ever. But it looks like it's gonna have some good moments. So we'll see how it turns out. But I'm not over the moon. I've seen a lot of people just loving this trailer, and I kind of feel like I'm in a little bit of the minority because I thought it was all right. Nothing that really stuck with me.
I get it though, man. But Dave has a question for you, Zach. What did you think of the new Naked Gun with Liam Neeson?
Loved it.
Yes,
I loved it up until about the third act. The third act, it kind of started to overstay its welcome a little bit for me.
Batista, man.
But the snowman bit alone was worth watching that movie. That was it was so good. I laughed so hard at that movie.
Yeah, it's for sure. Scary Movie 6 trailer was hilarious. Yes, it was. And we also got View with Drew in here. What's going on, Drew, the MVP? But Jeff, what are your thoughts on this trailer?
So I'm probably of the majority then. I loved it, but I'm like a big fan of the originals.
Dude, no way.
Like I watched them growing up, like as they were coming out. Like I remember when the first one come out, and we were over at like one of my parents' friends' house, and they were putting it on. They had rented it from like a Blockbuster type store, and they were putting it on. And my parents' friends did not allow their kids to watch it. And my parents were like, I don't care. So I was sitting there watching it. I was like, I don't know, like 9, 10 years old, maybe a little bit older, but I was pretty young when it come out. And I've loved this franchise from the beginning. I say give all of them a watch. I will say though, anybody that knows, don't put money into like 4 and 5. If you have a way to watch them, just kind of like if you watch horror movies, there's something in all 5 of them to at least laugh about. And you guys watch a lot of horror movies. So I would suggest still watching 4 and 5, but I'd say the only 2 you really got to watch for this one is 1 and 2. And like the trailer wasn't super funny, but when they announced that they were doing Scary Movie 6, I said, okay, I need it to be offensive. I need it to be real comedy. We get like 1 a year. Last year was Naked Gun. A year or so before that was No Hard Feelings. We get like 1 offensive comedy a year now. And I want this to be the most offensive one since Scary Movie 2, since the last Wayans brothers. Like when Wayans was on the top with white chicks and things like that, it was hilarious. And I don't think they're putting all their best bits in the trailer. That's what makes me excited for it, is that I laughed my ass off. Like I was probably like a rude Patreon to the ones around me because I was laughing that hard. Like when he comes to the door and he's like, what do you mean only some half gay shit? I was laughing.
That was funny.
My
That was good.
ass off. Like, I would have been one of those people in any other situation being like, dude, what are you doing? And I know that it has the potential to be even funnier. Like they're not, there's things that they probably can't even put in a trailer that is in the film. And that's what I'm excited about, because it seemed like it's going to hit on all the huge horror movies of the last 20 years, which is about how long it's been since we had another scary movie. So
yeah,
it seems like they're going to touch bits and pieces all along the way.
Yeah.
For sure.
I didn't see anyone talk about it, but like they very much reference like Final Destination Bloodlines here and there. I thought that shit was actually kind of funny too. Especially like it's the Laurie Strode bit when she's walking out of the house. It's like that whole house is.
Now I'm pretty sure we've all seen the same trailer. At the end of the trailer, it didn't say Scary Movie 6, right?
It just said Scary Movie.
Scary Movie, yeah. See, I still think that they're not going to have a 6 on it when they put it out.
No, probably not, because it would be making fun of Scream and Halloween and
Candyman.
I Know What You Did Last Summer, Candyman, yeah.
And to be fair, I think they're just trying to completely ignore 3, 4, and 5. So in a way, and in a sense, it kind of is like a reboot of the franchise anyways. But I hope it brings back more spoof comedies, because we were like so close to getting a Naked Gun 2.
Well, what's great is like the timing of it's really good, because next year we're getting Spaceballs.
Yeah,
Spaceballs.
That's right.
Coming back.
That's
so
right.
We're kind of getting this renaissance with like Naked Gun, then next year we get Spaceballs. So the future's bright for spoof comedy. Hopefully they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one honestly has a lot of potential. Like, I think as I watched the trailer, like it crawled up my most anticipated list, because I haven't laughed that hard watching a trailer in so long. Like pretty much every bit made me laugh. Like,
yeah.
But honestly, the like, of course, the Sinners bit made me laugh my ass off, but another
like
bit
the
that made me laugh was the sink in the chair bit from Get Out,
Mhm.
where they had Shorty sink into the chair. Like, dude, that got me. And then of course they're bringing back like Lachlan Monroe from the first Scary Movie with the in the smile bit. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many films
smiling at me.
like stop smiling at me.
I was really surprised to see that they basically brought back everyone from the first film.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do that even for the second one. The second one, there were quite a few, well, not really recast, but like different characters, basically.
We
They
did have
didn't
a
really
few
re-
return, like the main four were the returning characters.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. Like,
But this has like every character like every character I seen pop up were ones that I'm like, I wouldn't have thought that they would bring back those characters. Like we're getting the Gale and the Doofy and you know everything,
Yep.
or Hale or whatever her name. I can't
No, my
remember.
finger.
Yeah. I really hope they go all the way there. We need something like that in comedy, in the comedy genre. We just need something that it can't be canceled because it offends everyone. And I'm okay with that. Like, let it offend me. There should be something in there that offends me. That would make me laugh.
That's
So,
pretty much the whole point of comedy, is supposed to be offensive. Like,
yeah.
it's supposed to push boundaries. Like, from what I've heard, Mike, you've seen this one, but with Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, like they push the boundaries quite a bit from what I've heard. Like with a lot of like different jokes. And this one looks about the same. And the director has even come out and said like he doesn't give a shit if he offends anyone. Because that's literally the point of comedy. But
Good for that.
But yeah, those are our thoughts on Scary Movie 6, the trailer. What did you guys think that are watching this live or on the replay? Let us know in the comments. So let's talk about some recent horror films that we have watched. So again, we're just going to go around the table and just name all the horror films that we've watched as of recently. So Mike, you want to go ahead and start us off?
Sure, man. So I think by the time I left off last week, I had watched Creature from the Black Lagoon. So then after Horror Hounds, I believe I watched Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, funny as hell. And then I watched Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, also fantastic film. Loved it. Scream 3. After that, that was actually the only movie I ended up watching again before Scream 7, which was kind of a dumb choice, but I digress. and then Scream 7.
You mean the masterpiece of 3 didn't get you ready for 7?
I mean,
some people really do
Not
put
as
3
much.
that high, but most lists I see it at the bottom.
I like it a lot, honestly. It's probably like in the middle of my list. It's got problems for sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course Scream 7, watched it on Thursday. We'll get into it. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. For whatever reason, I just had a itch to watch it again. I had just gotten it like from a used movie store. So I was like, screw it. Let's rewatch it. I like it. I don't get the outright hate for it. It's a decent movie. And then I rewatched the original Scary Movie because that trailer got me in the mood for it when it leaked online from fucking Sean Wayne's, or no, Marlon Wayans.
It was Marlon Wayans, yeah.
Yeah, from Marlon Wayans of all people is leaking it. So yeah. And then I rewatched Frankenstein with Luke, and that was a blast. And then Bride of Frankenstein, we watched that together after the watch along we did for Frankenstein. Both great movies. And then just today I checked out What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. That was a damn good movie. Creepy shit happened in that one. I liked it.
Yeah,
All
that
right,
one's
so-
Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah.
Yep. But Zach,
Good
you got
one.
any recent horror films that you watched?
I checked out Primate not too long ago. The monkey gone mad. It was fun. I enjoyed it. There was a scene that was like straight out of Scream, with the keys in the car. I don't know
Oh
if
yeah,
you guys-
yeah.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
like literally right out of Scream, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a decent little a fun little film. I watched We Bury the Dead with Dave Daisy Ridley.
I like that
Not what I was expecting, but I did like it. I liked it a lot.
Mhm.
And then I rewatched the Scream films. I'm watching a lot of Alfred Hitchcock, but that's not really horror. Probably Primate's like my latest watch, and it was a fun one. I don't think it's like highly memorable for me, but for the 90 minutes that it went by pretty fast. It was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, for sure. Jeff, what do you got, man?
Well, I watched all the Screams leading up to 7, and I've been watching the scary movies intertwined. I'm through the first 4, and then I did watch this. It's called Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. You guys ever heard of it?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It was a made-for-TV movie in the 80s. It was a lot of fun. It is considered horror because it's pretty close to actually being maybe a little higher rated than not rated. You know what I mean? So if it wasn't on like TV, it probably would have blood and be just considered a little bit more of a horror movie. But that was a lot of fun. And then this one, I watched this last night, and I really just want to talk about this one. And that's Scenic Route. Have you guys seen it?
No,
Never seen this.
No.
Okay, so it's like a psychological horror. They break down on this really long strip of road in the middle of the desert. And they just kind of start going crazy on each other. Like it's him and his friend. And it's basically just a small cast set in one location. And it's like 95 minutes, and it just goes, and you're kind of just on the edge of your seat for pretty much the whole thing. And there's definitely some horror elements to it. And the ending is just, I didn't see it coming. I had a really good time with that. It's on Tubi right now, so I highly suggest you guys check it out. It's really good. Even with the Tubi commercials, you're under 2 hours of your time, and I don't think you'll find it wasted.
All right, I'm gonna put that one on my watch list for you, man. So, anyways,
I'm gonna be talking it up a lot on the next few streams. Probably, it's really sitting with me pretty heavy.
yeah, there you go. But as far as I go, I mean, I talked about this one last week, but I want to mention it again. But the Mothman Prophecies with Richard Gere, super underrated film. Did a re-binge of all of the Scream movies. I've grown more appreciation for 3. Like, it's fun, but you can definitely tell that film went through so many rewrites.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I feel like a part of it though is kind of like poking fun at rewrites in movies, and I kind of like how messy it is because it feels like meta messy in a way.
Yeah, but like, so because actually, fun fact, the original script for Scream 3 that Kevin Williamson wrote, of course they changed it, was actually made into a TV show called The Following with Kevin Bacon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't know about that until like about a few years ago. And I was like, that's interesting. I never would have thought that the original script for Scream 3 would have been turned into a TV show where Kevin Bacon is chasing cult serial killers. Like, that'd be pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Then I checked out the original Japanese film One Missed Call because it seemed interesting and I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's Takashi Miike. Really solid film. Got a good suspenseful vibe to it. I'm not gonna bother with the remake because I've heard it's dog shit. Checked out Werewolf in London because it was part of the Wolfman collection I have with the Universal Classic Monsters set. Pretty good. Not really all that memorable, but it's pretty good. And then Mike pointed out both Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. We watched those together.
Mm-hmm.
Classics. Then I'm kind of on a Clive Barker kick because I rewatched Lord of Illusions and the original Hellraiser, my favorite horror film. So, gonna plan to rewatch Candyman here at some point. So, there we go. That's all of them.
Nightbreed,
Awesome.
man.
Yeah. What's up?
Don't forget Nightbreed.
Oh yeah, Nightbreed. That's right. Gotta rewatch Nightbreed. But also, we got Mr. Michael Ennedy in the chat. What's up, man?
Hey.
Says, I enjoyed it at first, but the more and more I think about it, the more I start to hate it. Matthew Lillard deserves better. Also, how can someone move a heavy animatronic without being noticed?
Thank you.
Fair point. But, just for that, let's get right into a quick spoiler-free thoughts before we get into the spoiler section of this review. So, yeah, just give us quick spoiler-free thoughts. So, Mike, start us off, man.
So in general, I actually really enjoyed the movie up until like the third act. So, you get some good new characters I thought were actually pretty fun. Sydney being back was great. I loved the opening scene. The kills in general were just freaking gnarly as hell. It's one that's sitting worse with me over time though, just because of the third act and the reveals. I was having a lot of fun, me and my friend that I went to go see it with, and then it was just, I don't know, it was just a mess by the end of it. It was fine as a whole. Definitely my least favorite of the series though.
Zach, what about you, man?
Well, I gotta ask first if you guys got this featurette at the beginning of the film that was like baked into the film reel. I don't know if you guys got that. Well, it wouldn't be a film reel; it'd be the digital copy. But
I didn't get that.
No. Oh, dude, started off my experience so bad at the start because the movie did like the trailers took like the movie was supposed to start at 7, right? And then you get the trailers. So 7:15 comes around. The trailers finally end. It says, "Please enjoy the show" on my screen. That's usually where they just go right into the film. And then this 5-minute featurette came. Well, actually, 2 trailers came up. Passenger came up, and Billie Eilish documentary trailer came up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Which I was like, okay, I guess we're still doing trailers. But then this 5-minute featurette started. It had this timer in the corner there. It was counting down from 5 minutes. So it's like 7:20 at this point. My movie was supposed to start 20 minutes ago. Now I'm watching a featurette of them explaining the characters. I'm Sydney's daughter. We don't have a good relationship. And I'm sitting there like, I'm here. I am watching your movie. Start your movie. It's been 20 minutes. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, that I'm watching characters explain their motivations and who they are to each other with the movie I'm already there to see, they play a music video. This awful music video for this awful song for the movie. And I'm sitting there. It's like 7:30. It's like the movie was supposed to start half an hour ago, or at least 15 minutes ago. So what are you doing, Paramount? At least in Canada, my theater. What are you doing? It was terrible. So, anyways, I'm mad. I'm a little grumpy now. And then the movie starts, and all that baggage aside, I'll leave that aside. I'll just focus on the movie. They brought back Nev. They brought back Kevin Williamson, but they didn't really bring back the creativity. Is how I felt overall. I felt like it was very lacking in the Scream DNA, and it felt like Kevin Williamson was more so paying homage and like nostalgia bait for his first movie than he was making a Scream movie proper. And I feel like after what Radio Silence did so well with bringing Scream into the modern day, into the modern horror space, with the new rules and making it relate to the type of movies that we get nowadays. The fact that Scream 7 didn't even try to do any of that, I thought was a big disservice to the franchise overall. And then I just found the writing to be incredibly sloppy and nothing really made sense. And then the Ghostface reveal at the end was a nail in the coffin that, didn't enjoy this one very much. But it had moments. We'll talk about them.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. But Jeff, what did you think, man?
Well, first off, it sounds like the start of the movie for me was like way better for me than it was anybody else. Like I had, I guess, the typical like 12 to 15 minutes worth of trailers. It was Scary Movie 6 and then right into Scream 7 for me. I had a good time with this film. And actually, I dig it more the more I sit with it and the more I hear people's complaints about it, because everything I hear people complain about, I kind of think was done on purpose. We'll get into that though. The opening, I enjoyed it. Kind of. I thought it was a little too long for an opening. And I disliked it more when we get to the last 10 minutes of the film. I dislike the opening a lot more when it becomes a nothing burger, basically. But I had a really good time with this, and I think it's for a lot of the same reasons most people didn't.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. But
now in terms of like Scream, I put it right kind of down the middle. of the franchise. I still
okay.
think that with 7 films, with alongside Evil Dead and Phantasm, it's one of the most consistent horror franchises in terms of what it's doing for the genre that it is. And like I said, we'll get into that a little bit when we get into spoilers and stuff. I'll explain a little bit more of what I mean by that. But it lives in the meta.
Yeah, for sure. But also I do want to let the audience know that after we're done with the spoiler talk for this film, we are going to rank the entire franchise. So, but anyways, as far as I go, I wasn't hating the film. I mean, I wasn't loving it for the first 2/3, but I was like, you know what? Some of the dialogue in this is not good, but I'm still having a good time. Like, there is some really awesome kills. Like, a couple of kills in particular, which we'll talk about, I would say are some of the best of the franchise. Like, there's a good mother-daughter dynamic between Sydney and Tatum. And like I said, there's also some fun ghost chase sequences too. Like some fun Ghostface chase sequences is what I'm trying to say. I mean, again, it was great seeing Nev Campbell back. But I'm right with Mike and Zach. The third act destroyed the film for me. Like, honestly, like I was going from enjoying it to just downright not liking it as soon as it got to the third act. Because
now, what are you considering the third act?
Like
because I'm calling like the last 10 minutes.
It's like right as soon as they get back to the house. Like, it's right as soon as they get back to Sydney's house. Like after Tatum gets taken, and they get back to the house, that's when I think the film really starts to fall apart. Like, it just destroyed everything that I had enjoyed previously.
So yeah, pretty much the last
earlier
like 10
than that.
minutes.
Okay, so like the last 10, 15 minutes or so. Okay, that's about right. That's where it starts to get. It's where you feel it's slog.
Yeah,
I was in a certain location.
Oh, is the cafe bit or
The pub? Yeah, I don't know how much.
It was the cafe. I think it was the cafe. I think it was
it a cafe?
Yeah, it was the cafe.
I thought they were at a pub. Okay.
Okay. So they were at a pub at first though, but then they left like once Ghostface was coming. So
but I'm not. That's what I mean. I mean the pub.
Oh, like, gotcha.
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I honestly dislike this movie. Like, the last 10 to 15 minutes destroyed it for me. So, but yeah, we're gonna get into spoilers here in just a second. I want to go ahead and say what's up to some people in the chat. James is in here. What's going on? Says, I thought Scream 7 was mid. Then again, the franchise didn't clock with me. It calls out cliches. Does it anyway without anything to say. That's another big issue I have with this film. The lack of meta commentary. Like, the rest of the films are like so smart. Like, in particular, like with 1 and 2, like the first one talking about like the horror tropes, and the second one like sequel tropes. This one didn't really do any of that. Like, they tried to do a thing where it's like nostalgia bait kind of
an AI
tropes,
kind of, but yeah.
But they don't do enough with it.
Yeah.
So they may have actually done it perfectly though. Think of there's 3 other franchises that have horror franchises that have number 7 films in them, and they all kind of do this exact same thing. And I'm talking Leprechaun, Friday the 13th, The New Blood. But both of those do the exact same thing, where they kind of try to make itself completely different than everything else, but still be the same thing. Like The New Blood is all like just nostalgia based, and it really makes no sense. Like, it's all supernatural for what reason? You know,
for sure.
So,
but I
kind of feel like Kevin Williamson was doing it on purpose in something.
That could be true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could definitely be true.
We got Shot by Shot in here. What's going on? James says at a theater saw Scream 7. Apparently the theater showed an AI generated short. Now, all in fairness, which had nothing to do with the film or studio. Oh, what? I didn't know anything about that.
Jeez.
Shot by Shot said I had 30 minutes of ads every time I got to the theater. I don't really get many ads. Like, whenever, like, after like the showtime, it's like about 10 minutes.
Yeah, mine is usually like 20 to 25. So usually I can be there like 10 minutes late and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
usually 10, 15 minutes.
But I was gonna say, Zach, like the thing that you brought up with like the whole featurette thing, I've had that happen a couple times too with other Paramount films. Like I think one in particular they did that was with Bob Marley One Love. Like they did they did like 2 trailers and then a whole featurette. And then same thing with Smurfs. 2 trailers and then a featurette. And I'm like, what are we doing?
For the
Like, just-
latest Smurfs?
yeah, the
one
latest
that-
one, yeah.
They made you suffer enough. Why'd they have to do that to you?
I don't know why. But regardless, it's sad that FNAF 2 utilized McKenna Grace better than Scream 7, and that's saying a lot. You are not wrong, Michael. You are not wrong. Well, I'll probably link everyone's channels in the description after the stream. The stream films, in my opinion, are the definition of how you do fellow kids, but that's just me. Fair enough.
That's good.
But anyways, let's get to it. It is time to talk about spoilers for Scream 7. So if you guys have not seen the film, put the stream on watch later or leave and just go see the movie and then come back later. But here we go. Spoilers ahead. You've been warned. So the opening scene is this couple going to where the Stumacher house where the killings took place back in 1996. And it's like a tour house now.
But it used to be someone's house in Scream 5. Is that not wrong? It used to be.
Yeah, that's right. I think that was the house that it was Amber Freeman. That was Mikey Madison's character.
Mikey Madison's character.
Right.
Was, yeah.
Yes.
So
okay.
it was her house at first, but then of course she was killed, and then now they have it as a freaking tourist house.
Yeah, it's like an Airbnb.
Yeah, I think it's kind of an Airbnb, but also like a tourist kind of place. And then of course Ghostface comes in. Like they see this like motion detector Ghostface, and then later on it actually reveals to be the real Ghostface. Which cool idea, but really?
How?
Especially
like, how
when
was
you
that
find
even
out who Ghostface is.
Yes. Yes.
That was actually a lot of my issue with it in general was when you find out who Ghostface is, a lot of these you get a lot of howls.
Yeah, you don't have to beat around the bush anymore. You can say it's a stupid neighbor and the guy in the psych ward. Like,
I think we'll just go ahead and just spoil that right off the bat.
Yeah,
with the killer reveal. Like, so it's the guy in the mental facility that is telling this like bullshit story about Stumacher because Gail and Sydney had questions about it, like whether or not he was in a mental facility. And they said it was just some
in Indiana, by the way.
Oh, yeah. But
she went all the way to California to Indiana and checked into a mental institution.
Apparently so. But
well, he did. But that's the story they were trying to spin.
That was the story he was going for. And then yes, it was Sydney's neighbor who her motivation made no sense.
Well,
it did not make any sense.
Actually, if you think about, okay, so Scream, everything that happens in Scream happens in our real world,
right?
Because they meet people that they've met people in, like Tori Spelling is a real person in Scream universe. Tori Spelling's a real person in our universe, right?
Right.
So Nev Campbell as Sidney Prescott, how many times? Sans Scream 7, before Scream 7, how many times did people say we needed her in 6? She's the ultimate like modern age Scream queen. Da 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 da. They put her on this high pedestal as Sidney Prescott. This was like the ultimate stalker fan, and by this point, she's gonna have something like that kind of happen. You hear stories about that all the time. Heck, you hear stories of people getting stalked because they have YouTube channels. You know what I mean? So I don't see the motivation as being as far-fetched as what and as offensive as what some people may think. Because by the time Sidney Prescott has been this big idol, there's books about her. This lady is a little cuckoo, but she lives vicariously through Sidney. And now that Sidney isn't really living Sidney Prescott any longer, she needs to make a new story. She needs something else to live vicariously through.
Right.
So it's like the ultimate fan stalker type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point, but I just think with the way that they explain it in the film, like with how, like, she wanted to, like, because it was because of Sydney's book, which was referenced in Scream 4, that her neighbor, who ends up being the killer, murders her husband and gets away with it. And I'm like, okay. And then just wanted to try to lure Sydney back into this, and I'm like, what are you trying to do? Like, what are you trying to prove? Like, there wasn't anything about it, like her motivation, that was clicking with me. It made no sense, like in the long run to me. But I don't know. But now we're gonna fully backtrack here. Just wanted to get that out of the way, right off the bat.
I mean, it makes it hard to talk other spoilers if we don't just say who Ghostface is.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, like, another big part of the spoilers are the kills. So
yeah.
But
yeah.
But like, after this girl's boyfriend gets stabbed by Ghostface, of course a chase scene occurs, and
gruesome stabbing, by the way, through the head. The way that they did that, through the head and the eye.
Oh, that was some good practical effects, though, I will say.
Yeah, really good.
The gore in this one was probably the goriest. I don't think it's been
I have no
gorier than
complaints.
this. And I was okay with that. Like that didn't really, like that didn't really affect me one way or the other. I actually kind of thought it was kind of cool because
the one
Scream
thing
kind of always needed to be a gory.
The one thing about this new age Scream stuff is I love that they're actually like making Ghostface like super vicious. Because like the last one, he's running around with a fucking shotgun in a bit. This one, he's like ripping intestines out of a kid, like wild shit. So.
Yeah, that's right. And because to reference back to Michael's comment from earlier, which I'm going to go ahead and pull this back up. McKenna Grace is the first, like, not counting the opening scene, but like afterwards, she's the first one to die.
Yeah. Definitely a waste.
And I'm like, I kind of think they did the same thing in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Like, she technically was the first one to get killed because she was possessed by the marionette.
She cost too much.
Yeah,
but
probably.
I almost
probably
guarantee that's what it is. I mean, she's in all kinds of stuff now, but everything she's in for bit parts. She did the TV shows for years, but after that, like, she started getting her hits in the movies, and it seems like they just want to give her these bit roles. I assume it's because she's probably pretty costly. My son is 17, and he's a big fan of her, so I'm sure that she's really poppy with like the young crowd in general.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, this is like probably my first time being like exposed to her, really. So she didn't really leave an impression. I didn't really care either way. Cool kill. Really? She got a really cool kill though. Yeah, I haven't really seen much. I mean, I think there's a couple things I've seen her in, but like not where I've been like, she's a notable name in my mind, kind of thing. Like
that's fair.
Young Sheldon, man, you haven't seen Young Sheldon?
No, I haven't. I don't.
The last two Ghostbusters movies.
Yeah, she was in the.
Barely remember them, especially the Frozen Empire or whatever. I barely remember that movie. Was she the ghost friend or?
No,
she was the main kid, Phoebe.
Yeah, Phoebe.
Yeah.
She was Phoebe?
I'm with Zach. I barely remember those fucking movies.
I remember that. Well, I guess she was younger. I don't know. The bottom line, I didn't take notice like, oh, they killed McKenna Grace. I was just like, oh, the blonde chick got it. Okay, cool kill.
The first kill, or I guess kills, or second kill. So that's kind of what made me dislike the opening more when we found out that Ghostface was that little petite neighbor that couldn't have been heavier than like $135. And you got this 125. I mean, the girl that landed on her has to be at least the same weight or round about the same. Falling, what was that, 30 foot? Even landing on the knife, like, you're hurt. So already.
Yeah.
So
Especially
right there, I looked over at my wife and I said, "This is going to be a Scream that we have to suspend disbelief on."
Yeah, for sure.
Have to, because that right there, that right there, I'm like, I'm just gonna have to suspend my disbelief on this because if somebody's falling, now if it would have been like some big burly dude, I'd have been like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But
Yeah.
it ended up being the scrawny little neighbor lady that might actually be smaller than the lady that fell on her.
Yeah. See, okay. The thing with Scream though is like what you were saying to suspend disbelief. I've never really taken Scream that seriously. So when it comes to stuff like that, and we'll get into it later with like who the killer reveals are and whatnot. I've never really like taken the movies too seriously because they're supposed to be meta. They're supposed to be poking fun at things. So it's like, obviously, yeah, she would be crushed if some girl landed on top of her. But like, it's poking fun at movies that do that all the time. So
Well,
like,
aside from the first film, they've always done supernatural type stuff with Ghostface. Like Ghostface
No,
always
exactly.
has the abilities to sustain injuries that no normal person could sustain while they're
Yeah.
in the mask. And then once the mask is off, then they're vulnerable and the final beatdown happens. But I think
Yeah.
the difference is like when you have a stronger script and when you have a stronger story and just a stronger film in general. A strong film, a good film is like an illusion. It
Yeah.
allows you to look past the nitpicks. It allows you to look past the little details because you're just immersed and you're in this illusion of just how well the movie is. The poorer the movie, the more the nitpicks and the more the small details matter. So the fact that this couple traveled from Indiana to California to Stu's house to attack an Airbnb random couple, burn it down, and then flew back to Indiana, like the timeline there of time of travel and like it just didn't make any sense in retrospect at all. And I also had a big problem with the animatronic. The fact that they showed like they took the mask off and showed the sensor and then they turned their back for like a second and Ghostface came in there and like shimmied it out of the way. Like where did he put it? Like where did it go? And then it was just in its place, like because the movie was so weak and had so many poor elements to it. For me personally, these nitpicks stand out a lot more and they start to bother me, even though a lot of the same nitpicks and gripes I have could be found in other Scream movies. They're just stronger films, so the illusion keeps me from seeing them. But here they were just
Right.
blatantly in my face.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I get that for sure. I will say though, it's kind of another thing with like Scream 6 even, where like how are the killers able to do this? How is Quinn in Scream 6 able to
Exactly.
chuck that dude across the room? Like,
Oh, the
it's-
Gale attack makes no sense whatsoever when
No.
you realize that it
that's-
was that small petite girl. But the movie was so good, in my opinion, that the
Yeah,
illusion
yeah.
sucked
Yeah.
me in. It didn't bother me as much because I really loved the movie, and
Yeah,
that's the big
and
difference.
I had a
for me.
good time. It definitely part of it is the illusion, but I feel like also part of it is that it feels like they're just making fun of movies that do that all the time. So for me, I don't take it too seriously when they do something like so completely out of belief. Like I was going to
Yeah.
mention this later, but like with Stu possibly coming back, I felt like that's perfect. This is Scream. Like anything can fucking happen at this point, right? Like
right.
Sydney has a long lost brother. Like that just magically happened.
Right.
But yeah, it's like stuff like that. It's just like, okay, why don't you just stick with that? Why don't we stick with that? Because I feel like that would make this movie a hell of a lot more interesting.
'Cause,
One, if you reveal Matthew Lillard right out the gate, like in the first 20 minutes, like what Huck said, yeah.
Mhm.
Why didn't they just stick with that? I feel like that would have been a hell of a lot more interesting if they actually stuck and made it like an original Scream idea if you knew who the killer was the entire time. Because I feel like the last two movies in particular, they've kind of teased that, you're gonna know who the killers are, because in Scream 6, the killer reveals himself from the opening sequence, like off the bat, and then dies obviously because he's a ghost fake. And then this one they kind of tease with Matthew Lillard, but he's not actually the killer. Spoilers, but anyway, this is the spoilers section.
But it says the spoiler discussion.
yeah.
Dude.
I do
Yeah,
have
exactly.
to say though, I do disagree with you and Jeff about this whole "it was done on purpose" thing. I think that's such a cop out for the writers, because I don't care if you're making a bad movie on purpose; it's still a bad movie. I don't want to watch a bad movie. I don't want writers to make purposely bad movies because they made it on purpose. Like I want good movies. I don't want this doesn't make any sense because this is supposed to be a bad movie because the 7th installment is always bad. I don't want writers to do that. I don't want to watch movies like that.
Like, here's a prime example right here. That's like saying, like, Andy Muschietti, like saying like the Flash CGI was bad on purpose.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's great. Like, it still looked like crap. It was still dog
CGI.
Shit.
Like,
I still
like, it was a good movie, but
I love
can't overlook that dog shit CGI. Like,
I will say though, I don't entirely think all of it was like on purpose, like what Jeff was saying, like to that full extent. But I feel like there's so many ridiculous things in it. It's like at this point, like, why don't we just do this? Why, there's so many things in there that you can blatantly tell that they're poking fun at.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't want to get.
I don't take it too
I did have
seriously.
some fun in the movie, just not all the way through. But there was definitely some things they did that, like, were definitely fun.
Like, there's like one kill in particular, which again we're gonna jump forward, takes place at the pub, like when this kid who's also like a huge fan of Sidney Prescott, and
by the way, that kid getting killed makes no fucking sense. Why would you kill your own fucking kid?
Yeah, that made no sense too. Like,
and it was one of the coolest kills I've seen. Like,
it's a great kill. Like, that's the kill I was talking about. Like, that I was saying, like, for best of the franchise possibly, because it's a really creative kill and we don't really see that in Scream movies.
But the kill did not need to, like, it made no sense unless it just so happened to be the janitor, but they ruined that in the dialogue at the end when she said, well, I killed him because he was just like his dad. That's stupid.
That doesn't make any fucking sense, dude.
No, the dude was like, oh yeah, I did that just so that way it couldn't be pinpointed to her. Like, that would have been a better excuse at least.
Yes, that would have made more sense. But the fact that it was the kid's mom that did that made no sense.
You know what else didn't make any sense is, there's technically a third ghost face. Was he just some homeless guy?
Oh, wait, that's right. Gotta go.
Psych ward.
Yeah, he was the guy at the psych ward that was also at the cafe that Sydney works at.
He was he was like one of the roommates or something, right?
Yeah, Carl.
I think it was Carl. Yeah, and he ends up getting run over by Gail. Like when she comes like right in with the van, runs him over.
Best scene of that movie when Gail comes in and they take off the mask. Like, who?
Who? That was cool. That was cool.
But again, like, where did Gail come from?
Right,
like that's what I mean with like these little details and nitpicks, because the Ghostface killed the students, I assume, after school in the auditorium is when McKenna Grace got slashed, which is the
it was after practice, I think.
Simultaneously, that's when Sydney got the call, right? So then it's nighttime, so let's say 3, maybe 4 hours have passed by. So when did Gail first of all hear the news that there's a new Ghostface in Indiana, and when did she decide to pack up the van and come to Indiana? And is she coming from New York with the two interns? She said
that when the Mocker house was on fire, she knew that it was a story and she needed to come and check on Sydney. That was her.
Okay. Right.
She did say that in the in the movie. So like that, did they get? I mean, it's not like the best excuse, but it's enough for Gail. She doesn't have a job anymore. She's looking for her next big story.
All right, I'll give the movie that. I might have missed that line. I'll give the movie that. That's fair. But but regardless, that was a fun entrance when she ran over Ghostface.
I wasn't expecting it to come out of the car.
Yeah, that was a good scene right there. I will say that, but there's one scene in particular that also kind of pivots later to the third act when Sydney's husband, the sheriff, I think is
Joel McHale.
Joel McHale's character. Like, I knew who he was played by. I wasn't sure if he was like the sheriff or anything like that, but yeah, he was the sheriff. Gets wrapped up in this like little plastic like wrap or some shit like that. And gets stabbed by Ghostface. And guess what? Later on, he's still alive, and I'm like, what? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Endless amounts of blood in his body.
That to me did not make any sense. I was like, what? Like by that point, he would have been dead. Like,
oh yeah, he like hours passed by.
Like, according to the film's logic, that is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But also, back to the pub scene, like when Celeste O'Connor's character is being chased by Ghostface in the kitchen. She thinks that Ghostface is like right behind her at one point, so she grabs the knife and thinks that she stabbed him, but no, she stabbed Chad instead.
Yeah.
I was like, was this just a cheap gag or something? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, that to me was just a cheap gag. Like,
yeah. I thought the red herrings in this was also terrible. Like that drama teacher was
oh
so
yeah. Like the way he was coming off at one point, though, I thought he was going to be the killer.
No,
like,
as soon as he was that mean, I was like, he's not the killer. This is a red hair. Like the red herrings to me were so obvious. Like Kevin Williamson in the first film, and even like in the sequels that he did, like the guessing game was always engaging because he did a pretty balanced, well done job of like making it seem like it could be anybody. Whereas I felt like in this one, it was so obvious who it wasn't. Like every time.
Yeah, because now that I think about it, because it was definitely a red herring, like when Tatum and her boyfriend get in the car and she sees the computer and she sees that it's him like doing the voices like for Stu, and it's a deep fake.
That shit was stupid.
That
didn't make any sense. And I was like, that is a definite red herring.
See if I could, dude.
Yeah, that was
whatever.
terrible.
That was the worst excuse in movie history.
Yeah, he might as well have been just the fourth Ghostface. Like
He might as well have been at that point, but
Is
no,
it
he
so
ends up
hard
getting
to
killed.
checking 1 2, checking 1 2. Do I look like Stu yet? Do I look like Stu? Like, why did you have to say the vulgar, like violent language of Stu? That was the dumbest moment in any Scream movie, I think. Like that was just terrible.
Well, I was going to mention with the red herrings too. When it's not really the red herring, but it's like definitely pointing at something. Me and my friend that I was with, as soon as they say something about, have you seen what's going on with the AI recently in the real world? And it's like, oh, come on. That's going to be
yeah, that's a definite red herring.
Real.
Yeah, that I was like, really?
I do want to ask you actually about Matthew Lillard when he popped up on. First of all, we should probably just talk about him returning in general. Who did you guys want him to come back? Did you want Stu to come back to life? Because I've never been in that camp. I've never wanted him to come back.
Absolutely not. Like
No.
I'm not particularly for it. I feel like there's a lot more original things you could do with Scream, but at the same time, Scream is so ridiculous. It's like, why not? You know.
right.
Did you at any point think he was back when he came up on that phone? Like at any
I thought
point
he was
did you think
until they
live?
brought up the AI thing.
I was the same way. Like until they brought up that it was a deep fake, I was like, oh, yep.
No, I knew.
Well, until they just
I
said the word
kinda knew
AI.
it
I
was
was
a-
Yeah, AI. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What was that, Jeff?
I kind of knew it was a deep fake because touching AI is the only thing the Scream franchise hadn't done yet. In terms of like, So right. It wasn't but 6 months ago. Everybody on social media were saying, "Don't believe everything you see because it could be AI type of deal." And now it's like dripping into all of our movies, and we're getting whole movies that are made by AI. And so it really did not surprise me. But I've seen Scream so many times. I've been watching that movie since I could put it in a VCR. Stu's been dead. Like a CRT TV of that size landing on your head, and then you hear it electrocute him.
Mm-hmm.
Done
Like,
for.
You're done. Like I've seen somebody drop one of those TVs on their foot and break their foot.
Right.
It's crushing your skull. It's crushing your skull.
Exactly.
So I think I maybe would have been more mad if they would have tried to bring him back and actually retcon it. I think what they did for Stu was good. What I don't like is how there's so many people that are saying that there were two different Stus. Because the very first time he comes up, he looks way different than he does in any of the other times. Like the very first time the very first phone call that he's on, he doesn't have all the scars and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Good call.
Nice and clean.
I think he did, didn't he? Because aren't they analyzing that video later?
He was wearing like a blue cardigan, and he looked like he would if he just aged. and then the very next time he had all the scars on his face and stuff.
I think it was the first time he had the scars on his face, like when Sydney, like when he called Sydney through the computer with FaceTime. And
Yeah, I thought he did. but
and the
I
second
don't remember.
time, that was when the scars were gone, and I was like,
Was it the second
Wait.
time? Well, I know there was one time. It was like he was sitting in an office or something. It looked like.
I think it might have
Because
been.
the first one was outside the school, and I know for sure
Yeah.
he had the scars. And I will say though, as well, shit. Fucking
Well said.
blanked. What the fuck? I'm gonna tell you something. I forgot what I was gonna say.
But
Fuck. Yeah. I blanked.
yeah. But
Well, I'm
yeah,
really glad they brought Matthew Lillard back. I mean, to be fair, if they wouldn't have crushed him like they did in the first one, he could have been a great character to bring back any time throughout the series. Like,
Yeah.
he's turned into a really good actor. Like, the first Scream was one of his earliest films,
Mhm.
and now he's like a legendary actor. Well, like, what could that franchise could have been if they could have always leaned on maybe bringing him back? You know?
He was supposed
Yeah.
to come back. Just
Yeah.
didn't work
Scream
out.
3, yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. But also to speak on the AI stuff that this film brings you, like especially when we get to the film's third act, like when Sydney gets back to the house, they do deep fakes of Nancy Loomis, Roman, and Dewey, and I was like, this is fucking nostalgia bait. Like they are just desperate at this point. They're like,
Yeah.
we
Yeah, I
like,
thought it
we
was
just want
terrible.
the Scream fans back. Like we just want to make all the money. Like that's what
The-
that felt
the-
like to me.
The Dewey was
Oh.
terrible. Like
Oh,
David
man.
Arquette.
Mm-hmm.
David Arquette showed up for like 30 minutes to get a paycheck and left.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly what
30
happened. But
seconds.
but Mike, what was it? What was it you were gonna say?
Okay, yeah. So I remembered what I was going to say finally. So the first time you see Stu in the videos, the background is like totally real. And I feel like by the end of the movie, they take that same video and make like the background look horrible and look like completely AI generated. And it's just like stupid shit like that where it's just like, okay, yeah, it wasn't like that at the beginning. Thank you very much. Like you can even go watch it a second time and I can guarantee you it'll look real when you first watch it, and then like by the second time or by like the last time it comes up, it's like completely fake.
And even like the stuff he was saying, like when you realize that it's AI, and they have the callback lines of "I always had a thing for you, Sid." It's like, okay, well, the only people in the room when he said that was him, Billy, and Sydney, when at the end of the film or whatever. So how did these guys? He said that. How did they know to
I mean,
program that? The
I mean,
AI.
it's the same way that in Scream 2, that Stab knew the conversation that Billy and Sydney had in the hallway. Because when they're watching the trailer for Stab and they're having the conversation, they're having the same conversation that they had in the hallway at the school where there was nobody else around.
Right.
Word for word, verbatim.
You could say that Sydney gave input too, and that's why that scene. But again, I think it goes back to Scream 2's good. I don't think this one was. So these things are sticking out.
But I mean, I think that they just I think that they kind of do that like in lieu of itself, you know, like because like in 2, how would have anybody would have known for any of the Stab movies, and they're just like, well, that's just how it is, and I think that in part 7 they were leaning into that's just how it is, just too much. It's really the big
lazy.
They could have got away with it for a thing here or a thing there if there was a little bit more meat on the bone all around.
Yeah,
Of good stuff.
That definitely makes sense.
Topped out at every chance they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
100%.
do.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, like the third act just the third act just feels like a cop out for the franchise. Like, and also I gotta say that ending like fight like with the ghost faces, that was so anticlimactic to me. Like,
yeah,
like we're after they shoot the last ghost face.
They were like slapping each other. Like,
yeah. But like after they shoot the last ghost face, like it's just done there, and I'm like, what? That's it?
Her face falling off was kind of cool.
Good effects though too, I will say. Good effects on that. But the first ghost face, which was the guy that was in the worked at the mental facility just gets shot, and then it's just like, oh yeah, he's done.
Well, he's only in the movie for like 30 seconds. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's just like, oh yeah, he's done. And I'm like if you want like why couldn't they do something that Scream 6 did? Like with the with actually like them actually going up against both ghost faces.
Well, I was gonna say too, a funny point that Michael brought up in the chat. He said, "Why cast Ethan Embry when like?"
Oh wait, that's right. It's back. I think it's back up here.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Why cast him? Why cast him if he's not going to be the killer?
Yeah, for sure. And Huck, yeah, it should have been Stu Macher. Like that would have made a lot more sense if they actually played into it, like Mike was bringing up earlier, with how ridiculous the franchise can be. And like we also brought up earlier with the alternate ending that they did shoot, that they should have left in the movie.
Yeah,
would have been better.
Yeah, because
I still don't want Stu back, but it would have been better.
I'm right there with you, because when they first announced him back, I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, this is the route you're going? Because, again, the controversy aside, like, of course, with the firing of Melissa Barrera, which was fucking stupid. Like, I think if they did stick with the option of Christopher Landon as a director, I think this film would have had a much better chance of being a good movie.
Yeah, there was like one small fix that they could have done, and they could have just made her Stu's sister. It would have gave her a little bit more motive.
They could have done that, like, because they did the same thing in Scream 3 with Roman. Like, he was Sydney's brother. Like, it would have been interesting, but like,
yeah, congratulations to Roman, no longer the worst Ghostface.
I would have said Rory Culkin in Scream 4. Like, he was by far the worst Ghostface.
Yeah. Well, him, Ethan in Scream 6. I fucking hate that kid.
I think honestly, like, I think he was the most like, I think he was the most predictable, like, before this one, of course, of all of the Scream killers. But like, Quinn, I would have never seen coming. Like,
yeah, she wasn't too bad, and I like Dermot Mulroney, but yeah, I still don't care for the reveal in general, honestly, that much in Scream 6. But
it's still made for a good final fight, though, I will say. Like, what were you saying, Zach?
I was saying, aside from the first film, the reveals never really work for me.
That's right.
I actually like the reveal, like the second reveal in Scream 5 when it was revealed to be Richie. Because that, I will admit, I did not see that coming. Like, like just walks up to Sam and then boom, stabs her, and I'm like, oh, he's the killer. Okay.
Yeah. Because also Scream 2, I like the reveals in that. Timothy Oliphant's great, and then Scream 4, even though I don't like Rory Culkin, I like Jill.
Jill was a good killer. Yeah. I will say Jill was a good killer, but Rory Culkin, no. Yeah. Because even then even like before like the fight with Jill, they just kill him off, and I'm like, really? Like that to me just didn't really work for me. So, but I don't know.
We can talk about some Ghostface in this one. Honestly, like for the first maybe 40 minutes, like up until the panic room when they're going through the wall.
The panic room.
Which again, how did Ghostface get in the house and whatever? But it was pretty fun. Like, I enjoyed that one a lot. I thought, like, as much as Kevin Williamson, I think, had a lot of faults as the director, I thought that sequence was shot and directed pretty well. When he's like punching through the wall and they're on the other side, that was probably my favorite attack sequence in the entire film.
Like, that was a good scene right there.
Yeah.
But
they marketed the hell out of it, and I thought it was really intense still. You know, I was going to give it one prop too, though. Watching it, I was like, man, they really did a good job outside of, like, you know, they didn't give a whole lot away after like the first 20-30 minutes in that movie in the marketing, which I did really like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know.
Well, of course, they also showed the cafe bit, like when Ghostface was in the cafe and she had Tatum grab the gun that was in the office and then shoot Ghostface.
Right, yeah. The not double tap, yeah.
Yeah, of course. You got to remember the rules. double tap on Ghostface. Like,
Yeah, watch Zombieland before you survive any horror movie.
that is a very fair point. But yeah, so I think before we just get into our ranking, because I think we pretty much covered everything we needed to about this movie. Let's just go ahead and give our final grades. So we'll just go around the table. So I think I'll start first. Because I did a review just a couple days ago. I'd give it a D plus. Honestly, I really did not like it. But Mike, what would you give it?
I gave it 2.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So yeah, probably like a C letter grade, something like that. Yeah,
It's fair. Zach, what would you give it?
I'd probably be a D based off this scoring. I think a D.
Oh wow.
Because what did you give it on Letterboxd?
A generous 2.
Oh wow.
I mean, hey,
I had 1.5, but I also had a couple like I think I put Sleepwalker at 1.5 or something like that. So I was like, is it the same quality? Probably not. So I put it 2.
yeah, I gave it a like. If I'm talking about like by my Letterboxd, I gave it a 1.5. Because like a 1.5 is a D plus grade for me.
I don't put enough thought into my letterbox ratings to be honest to know exactly what I
Hey, but
letter grade would
You
be.
you do you, man. You do you. But
That's-
Jeff, what would you give it, man?
I haven't rated it on Letterboxd yet, but I'd say probably like I'm a little more generous. I think I got Scream 3 at like a 3, so I'd probably give this one about a 3.5, about a C plus. Like I said, it's kind of right down the middle of the franchise for me because I
Mhm.
loved a lot of the kills that were in it. There were things that I really enjoyed about it, aside from the things that I didn't enjoy. So there's other things in other Scream movies that I dislike way more.
Yeah.
Just bits and pieces, and like part 3, I think is still my least favorite. So I still give this kind of a good C, but I'm way more generous on reviews, and I'm no kind of actual like movie critic. So I just watch movies. So
Yeah.
you can't take my rating as anything to go home with.
But
They're all valid, man. They're all valid opinions.
Yeah.
yeah. So but I didn't make a banner for this for some stupid reason, but for this part of the stream, this will be the ranking of the franchise. So just one by one, go around the table, just say one film, of course, for each one, with ranking the franchise. So, of course, starting at the bottom with number 7. So, Mike, you want to start us off?
Well, I think you, me, and Zach can all say at the same time 1, 2, 3. Scream 7.
Scream 7. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's like everything we just listed off. It's got the most issues, honestly, of the bunch. The one I had the least fun with, probably by the end of it. Even though I had a blast with it up until the end, it's just frustrating. I don't know. It was okay at best for me. It gets worse with me the more I sit on it, honestly, though.
Yeah. So and Zach, you also got Scream 7 at number 7, right?
Yeah, it's number 7. It's the one that I would feel the least inclined to go back and watch. I don't know. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna watch it anytime soon ever again. To be honest,
I honestly don't think I will either. So like, I'll just go ahead and bury the lead before Jeff gives his number 7. Of course, mine is also Scream 7. Just up until like again when it got to the third act, that's when I really started to just downright not like it. So
Yeah.
but Jeff, what would you say is your least favorite Scream movie?
3.
It's valid.
Yeah.
It's just there's a reason why we didn't have a Scream 4 for a really long time,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
and its name is Scream 3.
Still not a bad movie, though. I mean,
it's not bad.
But I don't really think there's like a terrible movie in the entire franchise. Like I think it's a pretty consistent franchise if you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And you like that type of movie. Like I think they're all pretty consistently the same across the board for the most part.
Yeah, like if your least best in the franchise is combating between 3 and 7, like you got a pretty decent franchise. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're not counting the TV show, so we're all good.
Yeah.
Right. We're not talking about that TV show.
I'll change my 7.
But
Maybe now I just appreciate 7 just a little bit more because you said
yeah. But Mike, what is your number 6?
my number 6 as of now.
Oh, wait, actually,
is
hold on really
Scream-
quick. I actually forgot that I have these banners right here too.
Yeah.
Look
Forgot
at
about
that.
that. So let's just go with that. So sorry about that, Mike. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're all good, man. But my number 6 as of right now is actually Scream 4. Weirdly enough, it's just the one that I don't go back to nearly as much as the rest of the series. I like it a lot. I especially like Jill. I haven't rewatched it since Scream 6 came out. No, was it Scream 5 or 6 that I watched it again? I don't remember, but yeah, it's a good movie. I really don't like Rory Culkin, and I don't love the third act in the hospital. I feel like they could have ended it with Jill like taking over as like the main character. I feel like that could have been really cool, but you know how it is, plot armor in the third act. But yeah, it's a fun movie still. Like I said, if your bottom spot is combating between like Scream 3, 4, 7, you still have a good franchise. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, Zach, what is your number 6?
Scream 3. Yeah. It's
You want to kill two birds with one stone?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's my number 6 as well. Scream 3.
Perfect. Yeah. No, it's watchable. It's got some clever ideas in it. I mean, the whole concept of taking it to Hollywood and taking that meta aspect just that much further, recreating the sets from the first film is kind of a fun tie into it being the completion of a trilogy. Putting Gale and Dewey more so in the forefront and kind of sidelining Sydney a bit more, production issues and scheduling issues for that reason. It's a little disappointing in that aspect, and I really don't like the retcon of Roman being the puppeteer master behind all of it, with Stu and Billy's motivation and how he did that. I don't like that at all, and the whole like I'm your long lost brother is kind of soap opera-y. Not I just don't really get into it. I don't really like it, but I like it more than the reveal in Scream 7. So the motivation is a little bit more there, with the family ties and all that. But yeah, no, it's up until Scream 7, it was my least favorite, the one that I would watch the least. But I never hated it. I have issues with it, but it's watchable.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But I grow more appreciation for it because I used to really not like it at all. But after the recent rewatch, like building up for 7, I'm like, maybe I was too harsh on this one. This one's actually not too bad. But yeah, just already gonna kill two birds with one stone with that one. So Jeff, what's your number 6?
Well, they call it Scream, and I call it 5 Cream.
I remember that joke.
Yeah.
I didn't like what they did to my boy Dewey. I still feel disrespected for that every time I watch that one, because I watch it. When I watch them, I just watch them all, and I just watch them back to back, and I watched them going into 7. Besides what they do to him, Neve Campbell feels like a cameo, even though she's like the lead actress of the film. She's right there on the front of the cover. She feels more like a cameo character than the great mighty Sidney Prescott. So that's why 5 kind of falls a little low for me.
That's fair.
And it was, and to be honest, for the longest time, I went into 5 as one of those people that thought that it shouldn't have went past Wes Craven. So I had a really hard time accepting that they were doing 5 anyways. So I'm a little biased on that one.
Hey, it's your opinion, man. So
Yeah.
I get it. But Mike, what is your number 5?
Number 5 for me is Scream 3. Kind of the things that you guys mentioned. I just have a lot more fun with it because, like I said, I don't really take these movies seriously. So it's like, oh, yeah, Sydney has a long lost brother all of a sudden. That's goofy. I like that. Like, that's my headspace with it. I don't know. I like that they lean more goofy with these movies. And I feel like Scream 3 definitely is like the most goofy in the series, so I think it kind of works in that way. It's not definitely not the best of the series, like by a landslide, but it's got a ton of issues for sure. But yeah, and also from here on up, like at least from 4 up, I actually kind of love all of these movies. So yeah, I have a lot of fun with Scream 3 though.
Fair enough, man. But Zach, what would you put at number 5?
Scream 4.
Damn it again, dude. Gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's also my number 5.
We'll kill 3 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So for me, Jeff, and Zach, number 5 is Scream 4. So you want to go ahead and bury the lead, Zach?
Yeah, I'll keep it short so you guys can get some thoughts in there too. It's nice to see the return to Woodsboro. I like seeing where the characters are at all these years later. I like the relationship between Jill and Sydney. I like seeing Dewey and Gail back. I think it's the last time they're happy together. And I'm not crazy about Jill's motivation of just wanting fame. It's whatever. Like I said, all the Ghostface reveals after the first one just keep stretching credibility for me. But the journey to get there is more fun than Scream 3 and Scream 7. It's got some fun kills. And yeah, the last one Wes Craven directed. I don't like the way it looks though. I don't like the lighting.
Yeah, the
movie
bright
at all.
lighting really threw me off. Because like I think I remember when we did, because Zach, you were there for the watch along.
The watch along, yeah.
That like quite a few times, like we kept complaining that the lighting for that film was super bright, and you could tell like there was so many like production lights like around it.
Yeah,
like it was. That was the one thing that really distracted me out of Scream.
It's a little better in the second half, but the first half, it's really.
Yeah, like during like the daytime
right
scenes. Yeah.
Well, that'll roll right into my biggest issue with Scream 4. Half the time, it looks like it was a movie made for MTV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue with Scream 4. I love. There's some really good kills in there. Like I said, all the cast is there, all the production crews there. You know, we got Wes Craven. And it's probably the production, like the way that it looks and all the lights and stuff. It just half the time I feel like I'm watching a movie made for MTV. Now, the only thing that saved that was that we did get an MTV show later. So then we got to see how crappy it actually could be when it was an MTV show. But to me, it kind of felt like like they kind of had some budget issues maybe there.
Yeah, that's
like
probably
the barn,
what it was.
They spent a lot of time in a barn.
Yeah,
they do.
But I will say the standout kill in Scream 4 was the bedroom kill. Like that was a really gnarly one.
Yeah, the closet.
Like the closet kill. Yeah, like that took place in the bedroom. Yeah, that was a good kill. Like that was by far the best kill of the movie. But yeah, I like that. I like Jill's reveal, and I actually like her motivation, kind of just poking fun at like wanting fame. Like that I thought was a cool motivation. But yeah, like Rory Culkin's killer reveal, I was like, no. But it's enjoyable. Like it's definitely not like a bad Scream movie. Like it's watchable. Like 4 and 3, I would just kind of put on the tier of like it's watchable, but they're not great movies.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, so we're gonna move right into number 4. So Mike, what do you got?
My number 4, and my number 3 kind of just go back and forth, honestly, for me. My number 4 as of right now is Scream 6. I really enjoy it. I don't think it's the best of the sequels like a lot of people do, but I definitely think it's a stronger one at that. I think really the only thing that holds it back is a little bit in the third act. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, of course, like even for me where I turn my brain off when watching Scream, obviously. And even like in this movie where you have Mason Gooding is getting stabbed, like turned into Swiss cheese, and he's perfectly fine by the end. It's like, okay. And then they basically just have the Scream 2 reveal again in this. It's just like, okay. And then Ethan being a killer is like, that was the most obvious fucking move you could make. So well done, movie. But yeah, I had a good time with it when I saw it in theaters, and I still really enjoy it. Like every time I watch it at home, it's got its issues though, for sure.
I think this is the one, like besides Scream 7, like by the third act, like that's when it really starts to strain its credibility, like with the logic. But sure. Scream 7, I think I kind of agree with what Zach said. Like it just strains way too much credibility.
Yeah. Yeah, and at least with Scream 6 as well, like there's two characters that you actually were kind of attached to when it comes to like who ends up being the killers. So,
Right.
yeah, with Scream 7 you get like two characters that were in the movie for like 30 seconds and we're like,
Yup.
what? Who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
remember Sean Chandler like in his review for it, he was like, my son leaned over to me like in the third act and says like, who are these two?
Yeah, like I don't know, but anyway, Zach, what's your number 4?
Scream 2.
Are you kidding me, dude?
No, it's
Same
Scream
one
2.
again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my number 4 is also Scream 2.
You start. You start.
No, you bury the lead, dude. You bury the
All right.
lead.
Well, I mean, like I don't really have much like the rest of these movies I pretty much enjoy kind of on the same level, most of them. So there's not really any reason why it's number 4. I don't particularly like the kill of Randy. I guess that's probably the biggest thing is it hurts too much. So
Yeah.
I don't like that, but the rest of the film, like it's fun. It carries over the clever, witty Kevin Williamson writing from the first film and applies it to the college setting very well. It doesn't rinse and repeat too much, and it manages to apply rules of a sequel very well and in a fun, creative way. So, and as much as I don't like a lot of the Ghostface reveals, Billy Loomis's mom, fine. You're out for revenge for your son. You're also a psychotic killer. That can work for me. That's fine. So, yeah, I'll put Scream 2 at number 4.
2 words: Carnage,
Candy.
Yes.
But I will say, before Jeff, you give your number 4 for the franchise. In my opinion, Scream 2 is honestly has the best opening scene of the whole franchise, in my opinion. Like the theater opening scene, like when they're watching the first Stab movie, and everybody's going fucking nuts, and Jada Pinkett Smith ends up getting killed, which they also did a great job parodying that in Scary Movie, by the way. I want to point that out. But again, it was a great kill sequence, and like I said, by far my favorite opening scene of the whole franchise. So, but Jeff, what is your number 4?
7.
Okay.
Nice.
I rank it purely on the kills. I think it has some of the best kill sequences in the entire franchise. But I like my horror with some gore in it. So of course that's gonna do it for me. Almost alone on that. But obviously this wasn't the first one, and later on down the line I'll talk more about another one that is almost just as gory. But that's why I like 7. That's why I kind of let it ride that middle ground, because they're all just a little goofy. This one's just a little more goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's some kind of alternate ending, that might fix the entire movie for some people.
I want to see it.
Like Huck brought it up in the chat earlier. Like we talked about, like with Stu Macher being the killer, like, or one of the 2 killers. I think that actually would have helped the film like significantly.
Yeah, I mean, if there is an alternate ending and it gets it and it makes it to like home video, that alternate ending might say, might fix a lot of people's issues with the movie if they were to do something just slightly different.
Yeah.
Because that's where it kind of falls apart for most people, and then they find all the other intricacies throughout the movie that like was said earlier, they could be a little more forgiven if that last 10 minutes was a lot stronger.
Yeah, for sure. But yep, we're just gonna go right into number 3. So Mike, what do you got?
I feel like this might be killing multiple birds with one stone, but 5 Cream for me is my number.
That's
3.
also my number 3.
Same.
All right.
Wow.
We're very original tonight, guys.
Hold on.
But yeah, this one is a lot of fun. I am pretty partial to what Jeff was saying, though. Not huge on how they kill off Dewey, but I still think this is a damn good movie, really, outside of that. I will say, though, I like that they kill Dewey. I don't like how they kill Dewey. That's like, that's like my only thing. Because I feel like Cody Leach has said it best. I feel like killing him off was a really good idea. It's just how they do it is like, maybe
Yeah.
not the best idea, but still, I think it's a damn fun movie. Honestly, yeah, I really enjoy it.
For sure. But I think honestly another thing I really liked about this film was also how they kind of talked about like toxic discourse.
Yeah.
Like when it came to like the motivations like between Richie and Amber, I thought that was a nice touch because it kind of blends into what film discourse is online with certain films, like especially with the Scream movies. Like it's just minds going off like one after another. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's what it feels like with the Scream discourse, and especially with what 7. That's pretty much what it is. So I think with that kind of message and that kind of commentary with 5, I think the film is honestly starting to age better as time goes on.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
So
Yeah.
So Zach, didn't you say that 5 was your number 3 as well?
It is. Yep, number 3. I think what Radio Silence brought was a fresh a freshness to the franchise, while also being able to continue what made it so just made it stand out in the first place. And I think they did a really successful job of, because I think the biggest challenge with the Scream 5, the way that they were doing it, was every Ghostface had a vendetta against Sydney. So how do you transfer that vendetta to a new character? And I feel like they did a good job with that with Sam and how they connected her with Billy Loomis and all that. Not a huge fan of like Ghost Billy Loomis, but that's a very small like nitpick here or there. And like you said, I think they did a really good job applying the rules to an updated landscape of the film because of toxic fandoms and legacy sequels and the way that they apply. And I also think David Arquette gives probably one of my favorite performances as Dewey. I like what they do. I like he's a little bit more gruffer and whatnot. So yeah, I thought Scream 5 was really well done. And even like the opening with Jenna Ortega kind of mirrors the Drew Barrymore opening, but then kind of subverts your expectations because she doesn't die. I like that. I think that's smart. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great
Jeff. Yeah, Jeff, what is your number 3?
6.
Nice.
And
That's actually my number 2, or not my
and
number
it-
2, my number 3 as well.
and
Or
it's
no,
because
That was your number 4.
I'm dumb, bro. I'm dumb.
Let Jeff talk, guys.
No,
Let
you're
Jeff
good.
talk.
It's because this is where Ghostface truly become gruesome. You know, like he's got a shotgun. He don't give 2 shits. Like this is the first time. The only thing I didn't like about 6, the only thing I don't like about 6, and that's why I can't be so hateful on 7 on it, is I absolutely hated the Ghostface reveal. The only thing I liked about it was that I went and I seen that one with my son on opening night. So the reasoning was really cool that I got to experience that with my son, because he's like, oh yeah, your firstborn is always the one that is supposed to carry the torch for you, and you took that away from me, and you know, that kind of thing. And I'm watching it with my firstborn son, like it was one of the first horror movies we went and seen together in the theater. So like I had that kind of attachment to it, but it still didn't change the fact that I thought it was really dumb. You know what I mean? Like I was grasping for that straw of, okay, well, I can relate to it, but I still don't like it. But everything else about the film I love. The kills are gruesome. When the girl falls off the ladder and all that, you know.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like, now that's really stupid. Like, you're gonna just climb a ladder between an alleyway between 2 windows. But I mean, this is Scream, and we're on number 6 by this point, so
They were desperate.
That's another reason why I'm a little more forgiving for 7, because I've seen some really bad number 7s that I think are worse than Scream 7 in their respective franchises. And I think that 6 was starting to dip in the quality a lot more. Like, people are calling it out in 7, but I think the remnants of it was there in 6.
Yeah, for sure. But I think while we're on the topic of Scream 6, I think I'm just going to go ahead and bury the lead because that is my number 2.
Same.
Zach, this is crazy. Like, you and I have the exact same ranking from the looks.
Do we have it the same one?
I think we do. That is fucking crazy, dude. But I'm just going to go ahead and bury the lead because this is by far my favorite sequel. Like, I mean, 5 and 6 kind of tie, but I think I lean a little bit more towards 6 because of my theater experience, because that was by far my favorite theater experience I've ever had. Like, my crowd was into it, dude. Like, Jeff was pointing out, like, the ladder kill. My theater just was like, oh, like once she hits her face against the garbage can, like,
Yeah.
that was gnarly. And then my theater, like, once the ghost faces came on screen, like, it was all 3 of them. Everyone was like, "There's 3." Like, you could tell my crowd was just into the film, and then we all applauded. Like, once the credits started, like, it was a great experience. And like you said, Jeff, the ghost face killer was just freaking gruesome. Like, the kills were great. Like, yeah, the shotgun kill, that was awesome. Trying to think of what else.
It's a fantastic sequel. There's just one sequel I like a little bit better. That's all.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, this is by far my favorite sequel. So, and Zach, why don't you go ahead and bury the lead for this one as well?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much echoing a lot of what you say. I just love the change up to the New York setting. I think it was utilized really well. I think it's different. I think it's fresh, unique. The opening kill I thought was very creative, very different for the franchise. Kind of kept you on your toes. Honestly, the Ghostface reveal, like I said, like it's all the same kind of stuff to me. Like, okay, Richie was your son, so now you're out for revenge. It's just like Billy Loomis's mom. Like, they're all they all there's no real difference for me in kind of all these sequels. So the Ghostface reveal did not bother me all that much, to be honest, in Scream 6. I just thought it was very fun. I love the gruesome Ghostface, even though the Gale, in retrospect, doesn't make any sense. I loved that sequence in the apartment and all that. So yeah, I just I think it's one of the more fresh sequels, and I like that it did something different with the setting and everything.
I did actually also want to talk about the opening scene for a second, like when Tony Revolori was revealed to be Ghostface at first. Like, I like how they did that. Like, it fucked with the audience for a second, where it's like, wait, are we going to be following a Scream movie from Ghostface?
And killing Samara Weaving, who's
like right at the beginning.
A name I actually do know. I do know.
Yeah.
A blonde, I do know.
But yeah, like, I thought that we were going to be following a Scream movie from the perspective of Ghostface that go around. Like, as soon as that happened, like, he takes the mask off, boom, he's there. I'm like, wait, what? And then he goes back to his apartment and then sees that his roommate is dead in the fridge, and then comes again Ghostface. Like, that was a great scene.
I like seeing Kirby back too. Having Kirby back.
Yes,
I like that.
I did see in an interview though, like with Radio Silence, talking about Scream 6, like someone asked a question like about like if Stu was alive. Like, they said that the same conversation was happening about Kirby for about 11 years until they dropped a tiny little Easter egg in Scream 5 when Richie is on his computer like watching something like about the Stab movies. There's a little Easter egg that is saying like about like an interview with Kirby, like about surviving Ghostface.
Oh, cool.
So I wanted to point out that tiny little Easter egg there for a second before we went on. So, but anyways, Mike, what's your number 2?
Well, Jeff kind of pointed it out, but I'm pretty sure we have the same number 2, Scream 2.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
It's a banger, man. I think they recaptured the magic perfectly. And what's wild too is they kind of rushed this movie, but they were able to fucking nail exactly what they were going for, and I love it for that reason. So that's why it's my favorite. I feel like the reveals are the best since the first one, like easily like the second best. So yeah, I love it
by far.
Yeah, I think the reveals for 2 make the most sense behind the reveals for part 1.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know,
and it follows up part 1 perfectly with that too.
To me, it's one of the best sequels to an original horror movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And it follows all the rules.
Yes.
and I just love the opening scene. I remember the first time I ever seen that, I was like, wow, this is how they're opening this movie, is in a movie theater. Like, I just thought that was one of the coolest things ever. And still to this day, it's not really been topped. It's only been made fun of. Like that's the easiest way it's been topped, is that they've made fun of it. You can't really top it, I don't think. I think they tried to recreate it in 7 during the theater scene where she's hanging and everything. Like they're in the theater setting. I think they were trying to recreate the gruesome feeling of the opening of 2. That was part of like a nostalgic pull. So
yeah, that was kind of another thing for me with 7. Like it wasn't just like callbacks to like different characters. It was also just callbacks to multiple scenes that were in previous films.
Yeah.
To where I was like, to where it's like like Kevin Williamson was like, hey, remember this iconic scene from this movie? Remember this? Like, that's kind of what it was just coming off as to me. But anyways, I think we can all just say at this point, like at the same time, what number 1 is, because it's pretty obvious. So 3, 2, try it again. 3, 2, 1, Scream. Of course.
1996.
Yep.
Yeah, not 2022.
Scream 1. How about that? Scream 1. There you go. It's one of the best horror films of all time, and it's just incredible. There's really nothing much to say about Scream that hasn't been said already. Like, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, anybody else want to give any thoughts about the first Scream?
Nah, you stole it. Perfectly captured. Exactly.
With those 4 words. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but it's amazing how well it holds up. I think is the biggest.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the like franchises and the iconic horror that it's commentating on still resonates today, which allows Scream to still resonate today. It's gonna be timelessly classic. It's gonna be endlessly rewatchable. And the fact that it was made in the 90s doesn't change how much fun it is. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It was kind of ahead of its time, to be completely honest with you. Like for how they like made it in the 90s, it felt ahead of its time.
I mean, I watched it again like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, leading up to 7. It doesn't feel aged.
No, it's so smart too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel outdated. There's nothing like, the only thing that might feel a little outdated is that they have landlines. Okay.
Like, sure, but that was just for its time. So there's really nothing outdated about it. So
yeah, it's just there's some technologies that are just, we don't really have those technologies anymore.
Yeah, but like even 30 years later, like it still holds up. Like, it's crazy that I'm saying that film is now 30 years old.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, but Scream, it's one of the best horror films of all time. Like, you can't really beat this one for the franchise.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that will do it for this episode of Horror Hounds. This was a great episode.
The longest one.
I don't think this was the longest one, actually.
You guys didn't go longer with Cody Leach? I find that hard to believe.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I think,
ironically enough.
well, I think our first episode was actually the longest episode. It was about like 2 hours.
Oh, I might have been. I'm
Yeah.
not
Are you playing a video game?
sure. Maybe.
He's like, maybe.
I hope it's Resident
What?
Evil.
I actually beat Requiem this morning. So
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice,
Love
man.
that.
That's a good excuse to not be playing it.
But
I'm all
yeah.
Resident Evil out.
But yeah, that will do it for this episode. As far as what we got coming up for the rest of the show, or upcoming episodes, I should just say, next Wednesday will be a game night episode. It'll be horror movie trivia, so that should be a lot of fun. A week after, we're going to do a double spoiler talk for The Bride and Undertone, which is something I'm really looking forward to.
Ooh, Undertone looked freaky. I saw that trailer before Scream.
Yeah. The early screenings are starting tonight, so fingers crossed.
I'm going to go see that next Friday since I'm off of work. I'm going to go take my mom to see it.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Give your mom a heart attack?
I took her to see Long Legs, for crying out loud, dude.
Yeah. Is she a horror hound? Does she enjoy the horror
She
stuff?
does really like horror films. I mean, not like super gory or anything like that.
Like
'cause
Terrifier, is she into it?
I would never show her Terrifier. Like, I'm just gonna be clear about that. Like, but we did go see Scream 5, and we also went and saw like the last 2 Halloween movies together.
Cool.
So-
That's awesome.
That was fun. And like I said, I took her to see Longlegs, but I don't think Undertone will be like as disturbing as Longlegs is. Like, I'll say that for sure. But everything else, I'll do full reviews for The Bride and Hoppers this weekend as well, and I still got to put out my February ranking. And then Sunday, watch along for Toxic Avenger 2025. So, got a lot to look forward to. So,
Nice.
anything else you guys want to promote for your channels?
No.
Yeah, I got some stuff coming up. I'm going through the Oscars nominee list. So I've got the 10 Best Picture nominees ranking coming out tomorrow. Going to see Hoppers on Friday, so I'll have a review for Hoppers out on Saturday, and then I'm going to try and rank all the Pixar movies from the year 2020 and on, including Hoppers on Sunday. So couple things coming up on the channel you can check out.
Nice, man.
Nice.
Jeff, what about you, man? Oh. Just
But hey, while we're at it, you've probably seen all the Best Picture nominees, right, Luke?
I did, yeah.
What'd you think of Secret Agent?
Good, but really, really slow.
Yes,
Yeah.
I felt the
Really
same
slow.
way.
Like, here's the crazy part. It's the same runtime as One Battle After Another. That One Battle After Another moved at a bullet pace.
Yes,
But the Secret Agent was really slow. Like, even at points, I thought it was kind of boring.
yes. Okay, I'm not alone. Okay, because I was watching it and I was kind of thinking like maybe there's like a disconnect with this being like about Brazil and its political thriller during a time of a dictatorship that I don't know anything about. I'm not a history buff, but I didn't see the Best Picture hype on it. It's the one of the only movies I watched where I was like, oh, and honestly, Bugonia, where I was like, I could find 2 other movies to replace on this list.
We'll probably talk about that here in a little bit. But anyways, Jeff, is there any content that you want to promote for the channel?
I got some haul videos that I just got to edit up. I'm terrible at editing. But for sure, in like the next 2 weeks, I'll have a live stream. We do it every month over on my channel. It's we get together for basically a 2-hour talk on Criterion every month. And we talk about the new releases for Criterion, what movie we watched. It's me and my buddies, Johnny from Johnny, What's Johnny Watching, and my buddy Jason from 4K Movie Mass. We just get together every month and talk Criterion and make each other watch things in our collection that we've not seen before.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Very cool. And want to point out one last comment before we go from Nikki. Says, great conversation, fellas. Have a great rest of your night. Well, thank you. You too.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, guys, that will do it for this episode of Horror Hounds. Look forward to next week for game night. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night. Peace out.